Hello, and welcome back to the Inside the Mind series. And today, we're going to take on the scariest opponent in Splatoon 3, Nintendo's terrible network service. Now, we've all been there, right? You're playing a game, things are going really well, you think you've got the win in hand, and then somebody DCs, and you immediately get crushed for the rest of the match. Now, generally, the disconnect is a kiss of death. You're probably going to lose those matches. But every so often, depending on the situation, you may be able to grit your teeth, lock things down, and still manage to come away with a victory despite being on the penalty kill. So how do we do it? Well, we're going to need to play good defense, have good positioning, good awareness, and generally make good decisions to keep our opponents from gaining the upper hand. So what does this look like? Well, let's take a look at an example match to find out. If you like this sort of thing, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more fun and informative Nintendo content. Let's get started. Alright, so we are playing Tower Control on Mako Mart here. We see we have our decent team comp. The enemy's not bad either. So we're going to dive in, and we're going to go immediately to the right side. We're not going to go after the tower immediately. We're going to try and look and engage the opponent. And we're going to start with these splat dualies. Now, as far as our Swifts test from a previous video, this is a decent fight to take. There's nobody else around. We're confident this is going to be a one-on-one. Dualies are going to be a neutral matchup. They just threw a bomb, so they're going to be, they're not going to have a whole lot of ink handy. We'll have our shield ready. So this is a fight we can take with confidence. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to walk in, take these dualies out. Now, we're going to press the range blaster here. This is a less than stellar matchup because blasters can really do a number on us. We've got our Reef Slider charge, so we will use that. We won't get them, but we'll be able to, try to follow up. And what happens is they actually come around and join us right here. This is a much better matchup. They don't have a lot of ink around. There's, again, nobody around. We're right next to them. So this is a much better fight to take for us. And we're just going to get rid of them. Now we're going to annoy the Charger a little bit here. Our Tenatech Splatter Shot's actually going to wipe them out. And so things are looking pretty good right now. We're already past checkpoint 2, we do lose the Tenatech to the bomb, and then I'm going to get kind of zoned out by the range blaster here, so I can't help with pushing the tower. So we're only going to get it to 7, but that's not bad. Now I'm suddenly on the enemy platform, defending, but we'll move around to try to pull back, get into a better defensive position here. Going to pressure this arrow spray a little bit. This is probably not a great move because there are so many people around. It's one of those things that we do, we think, oh, we just need to keep moving the objective. But in this case, we're not going to get it very far, and we're going to get wiped out pretty quickly. So that's probably a situation that I could have stayed out of. So they're going to take the tower. But again, pushing it to 7, that's a great place to start, especially, again, given the network connections. You want to have a lead early in case something bad happens. So here, I'm going to get my Reef Slider, and on Mako Mart, this is kind of an interesting layout because the tower tends to drop below you at certain points, which means a Reef Slider, properly positioned, could do some real damage even on the tower. Now, in this case, I'm not going to actually pull it off, and I'm just going to get destroyed by the Booyah Bomb, but the Carbon Roller is going to come in and clean things up, so we'll stop this push pretty quickly. Now here, these Splat Dualies are trying to base invade, but they're by themselves, they don't have a ton of ink coverage, we're just going to get rid of them pretty quick, and it turns out to be a wipeout because nobody else is around. So we're back on the offensive again. Again, we're kind of pushing on this right side. We're looking for an opening to get behind them again. They're already 2 down, so this is not terrible. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to reef-slide this platform. I'm not going to get the arrow spray, but I am going to push them off that spot and then follow up to get them. So not a bad move there. You'll see the blaster, the range blaster is coming back. I'm going to try and turn and face them. This is not, well, it wasn't a terrible matchup until the charger showed up. Again, the range blaster is not in a great position, but now the charger's like right next to us. They're behind our shield, and they're going to make a nice shot to get rid of us. But again, Carbon Roller comes along and cleans that up. So the Carbon Roller is playing a pretty good game at this point. I'll jump back to tower here. Again, range blaster in a terrible spot. We're going to get an assist there. We're going to try and keep moving this tower a little bit. And then one of those fun things that happens to Tentombrella players a lot is bombs go off and end up killing somebody, one of their teammates, around the shield. In this case, I actually back over that suction bomb. It hits my shield and detonates, and I'm toast. The more important thing, however, is going to happen up at the top of the screen. So keep an eye on the players that are around right now. And you'll see the Carbon Roller disconnects. So now we're in trouble. This is a 4-on-3, right now a 4-on-1 because the arrow spray is the only one active. So at this point, things aren't looking great, but we've pushed the tower so far that we still have a little bit of cushion to try and hold on and make this work. So now we've got to focus on playing defense. And our first order of business is to deal with these splat dualies again. They're trying to base invade again. They're actually going to use their crab. Not in a great spot. At this point, I think the fight makes sense for both players. The splat dualies are trying to push in. They're trying to get out ahead of the tower and get us out of a good defensive position. I'm trying to keep them out of our spawn here. So, okay, yeah, we'll just hang out here. Now you'll notice, you'll watch the tower here. It changes hands a couple of times. I'm going to miss with a reef slider, but now we're going to take it back for good. And so the problem now for the splat dualies is that they're kind of failing the Swift's test themselves. The situation is not calling for a base invade right now because only the range blaster is back on defense. So we're going to go around and around here for a while, play a game of Ring Around the Rosie. Our goal here, we're thinking about, say, setting up a pass in a NASCAR race. The approach is the same. We're going to just continuously put pressure on our opponent and force them into a mistake. So eventually, I'm going to spin around here, and that's exactly what they do. Just roll at us with no apparent plan. You can see their aim is off, so they're just shooting off into Narnia somewhere, and we're going to run them over. So we're just going to clean things up here. Now, I'm not going to help very much on offense because I know darn well that it's kind of a lost cause at this point. You'll see, in fact, both of my teammates go down. So now it's just me. So I'm here on the ledge on our primary platform, and I've got 4 players looking at me. At least 2 or 3 of them on the tower. That's probably a mistake the enemy made quite a bit. They were bunched up a lot. They overplayed the objective and didn't take advantage of having more players. So right now they don't know where I am, so I'm just going to kind of slide and wait for my opportunity. They've got the bubbler out, but I'm not gonna step to that. I'm going to push here. Now that tower is going to go down, and the timing works out perfectly here. It's again going to slide lower, which means my reef slider is actually going to do some damage this time. So I'm going to slide in, knock out both the shield and the arrow spray, which means that they don't have a Booyah Bomb handy now either. There's only the charger that's left. We're going to converge on them and wipe them out. So, successful defense. Now, I'm going to try and be a little aggressive here. I'm going to try and catch them a little bit, maybe coming out of their spawn. You can see the splat dualies here. We'll run into them a little bit more later. Now, I go all the way around here, probably not the best move, because again, now I'm kind of leaving my teammates in a 3-on-2. on defense. So I'm going to realize pretty quickly that there's nobody here, and I'd better go back to help out the rest of the team. Now you'll notice right there at the bottom of the screen a couple of shots there. The Splat Doolies are actually following us, trying to knock us out. They think they've caught us out of position. Now at this point, I figure, hey, I'd love to get that crab off the field. So I'm just going to turn around and re-slide them, see what happens. Now, this is not a terrible move, except that my angle ends up being really, really bad, so I'm not gonna do anything here. But they use their crab anyway, so I've actually drawn the crab out in a pretty subpar position. They're not really gonna be able to help their teammates out that much. In fact, they're going to kind of focus on me a lot more. So I'm gonna fall back here, after wasting their time. Now, this is a problem. The blasters here, the chargers here, the dualies are here. I'm not going to last very long. Luckily, our Tenatech is actually, I believe they're going to use a bomb on the tower. You'll notice right there, and basically wipe them out. The dualies are still around. They are going to try to push the tower a bit more, but we're down to 20 seconds. We don't have to hold on that much longer. So our Tenatech actually goes down to a bomb here. Not a huge deal. Both me and the Aerospray are coming back. And the problem that the enemy team has at this point is that because the Splat Doolies are the only player on the field, everybody's going to be jumping back to them, which means, again, they're all going to be grouped up so that we can kind of focus our efforts on all of them together. So you'll see our Aerospray is going to trade with their Aerospray. I'm going to get rid of their range blaster. The dualies are actually caught a little behind the play here. They're going to try to crab, but they don't get it there in time. It's just the Squiffer. So me and the Tenatech are going to team up. We're in overtime, so it's over. So that's how you can, in the right position, or in the right scenario, come away with a 3v4 victory. So, that was how we can claim victory even when we are a player down. It does require the right scenario again. We have to, have the leeway to potentially make some mistakes or give ground when we're just outnumbered. But if we make good decisions and try to play sound fundamental defense, sort of like, sound like a football coach here, we can make things happen. We can still keep our advantage and come away with the victory. So, I hope that something here helps you in your future matches. But until then, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in a future video. So long!